Have you understood the question, all of you students?
So can you repeat?
What you have to do, but you'll be taking the list from the user and the element that the user want to search for. Instead of using the index function, that is an inbuilt function that you are having in index, you don't have to use that. What you have to do is you have to check manually in with each of the element of the list whether the element that user want to search for is at the first index, zero index, first index, second index, whatever it was. And if you are able to find that element in your list, then you have to display at what position the element is lying on in the list. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So my last program is showing error.
What error are you getting, dear?
So it is saying that tuple does not support item assignment.
Tuple? Why we haven't taken the tuple?
So in the line L1 j is equal to L1 j minus 1, it is saying that tuple object does not support.
Okay. Listen. Akansha, I'm making you the presenter. Please show me the code. Share the screen and show me the code. Akansha, you're a presenter now. You can show the code, dear.
Yes, sir, I'm doing it.
Sir, I had to leave actually, so my battery died. Can you tell once again what to do?
Kanak, you have to write a program to search the element in the list. Okay, you don't have to use the index function. You have to do the work manually. Check the elements one by one in the list manually.
So is the screen visible?
One second. The screen is visible. Don't scroll, just 1 second. Let me check. Length minus 1, 0 minus 1, L1 of 0 equals to last. Thing is correct. Please run the code. Write down square brackets. Write down the elements of the list. Close the square brackets. 2, 3, chalo. It is working. Earlier what you have done is, Akansha, you had written without the square brackets. Hana?
Yes, sir. It was my mistake. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now everyone, you have to write this program. So to search an element in the list, to search an element, you have basically two approaches. One is the linear search and second is the binary search. So linear search says that you are checking the elements one by one in the list. And if you get that element, you'll break the loop, will come out and will display that you have got that element at that particular position. So suppose this is the list that user is entered. As I've asked the user that what element you want to search for, it has entered 5. So if 5 is there in my list, I'll display that 5 present at that particular position. This is the work that you have to do.
So you have to add 1 to the index number.
You have to add 1 to the index number while displaying the position. If you are displaying that 5 present at index this, then don't add. If you are displaying the position, then for sure you have to add 1.
Okay.
So here 3 is index number of 5.
3 is the 5 is the index number. 5 is the element and this 3 is the position. Index is 2 of the 5. The index of 5 is 2, na? I have displayed the position. So position will be index plus 1.
Sir, done.
Done. Very good.
Sir, done.
Great. Very good. If you want to see the code, let me show you. I have already written this. This is the program, the highlighted one. This is the program. Is the program visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So what we have done, we have taken a list, calculated the length, the element is taken from the user. I have taken a flag variable. Why I have taken this flag variable? By this variable I have taken flag because if my element, if I'm able to find that element, I'll change the value. If I'm not able to find that element, I'll keep my flag to be as 0 only. Okay. So we have taken the loop. If I'm checking with each of every element, if the element which is at index 0 gets matched with the element that the user wants to search, the value of flag will be 1, position will be I, and I will break the loop. Why I'll break the loop? If I've got an element, so I'm not going to search elements furthermore. If I've got the element at first index or second index, whatever index it is, so I'm not going to search further. I'll break the loop. Now the value of flag will be 1 only and only if my value has got found. Otherwise it will be by default 0 only. So if the flag is 1, it means that I have got the element. So after the execution, after termination of this loop, will come out and will check whether the flag is 1. If the value of flag is 1, so I have got the element at POS plus 1, else I have not got the element. So this is a simple program to search an element from the list, and this approach is known as linear search. Clear?
So why did you put this if else again? You could have used for and then else. If the element is not found, then print not found.
This could have used, but I have used the concept of flag variable. We can also do that thing also. We can also do that. बढ़िया. Okay, now the second program, that is one more approach. The second approach to find an element from the list is binary search, and that we'll be doing in the tomorrow's class, right?
So can I use in not in function to check if the element is in the list or not?
Kanak, you have an index function, you have in not in, you have that, no issues in that, but the thing is we have to use the manual, we have to do the manual execution, we have to do the, manual search approach we have to use, है ना? Otherwise we have all the inbuilt functions that are available to us. But always keep in mind while working on a project, see, suppose if you're working on a project, okay, and there's some issue that there's a need to find the position of an element. In that case, you can use the inbuilt function or in not in membership operators, whatever operators you want to use, inbuilt one. But if the question is only this at your learning time in your school time, if the question is this that you want to search an element from the list, then for sure you're not going to use that inbuilt function. You're doing it manually. So that is why we have used this approach.
So in our exams too, we have to use the manual approach.
Manual approach. In the exams, you don't have to write it. I'm telling you now, if you're working on a project, if you're working in an organization, in a company, then you can use the inbuilt functions because you have to do your work in a very less time and the program should also be shorter. Okay. But in this time, because see, you must be knowing that how this index function is basically working. What is the code behind that particular inbuilt function? So that code is this. Okay, we are learning the concepts. Right here. Chalo. Okay, then we'll see you tomorrow. And in the next class, we'll be doing some more programs from the list manipulations. Till then, goodbye. Take care.